5S is short for 5 Japanese terms: seiri, clearing up; seiton, organizing; seiso, cleaning; seiketsu, standardizing; and shitsuke, training and discipline. The 5S program, which originated at manufacturing industry work sites in Japan, has spread throughout the manufacturing industry and is also well established today in many other industries, including the construction, distribution, maintenance, service, hospital and hotel industries. In fact, whenever we investigate the causes of problems and mistakes that occur at work sites, we come across a need for better implementation of 5S. 5S is not, of course, the only foundation for shop floor and office management, but it is the most visible, and its implementation can easily be checked. Hello, I'm Dr. 5S Up. What I'd like to discuss with you is various ways to activate and raise the level of your 5S activities, based on the ideas of Mr. Akio Takahara, Director of the Basic Management Institute. You might think that simple acts such as clearing up and organizing are just a matter of common sense, and that cleaning to maintain a clean working environment is just a natural thing for everyone to do. Well, in a way, you'd be right. However, these days, doing common sense things like those is not actually as common as it should be. Activation of the 5S program, which is a foundation for ensuring secure business practices, can increase your company's competitive edge in various ways, such as quality improvement and waste reduction, improved safety, and the securing of on-time delivery. This is the factory of Iwaki Electronics Company Limited, a general electronics parts manufacturer based in Iwaki City, Fukushima Prefecture in Japan. The company was established with capital of 1.2 billion yen, and it now has around 750 employees. This factory manufactures hybrid ICs for color LCDs, system devices related to LAN, and many other products.
Here at Iwaki Electronics, our small group activities began to lose vigor around 5 years ago, and at the same time we suffered a slump in earnings. We decided we should try to get back to basics again, so we introduced 5S activities throughout the company. It was a decision made by the president in an attempt to reactivate the company. Now, 5S has infiltrated deeply into the minds of all the employees to such an extent that it has become the base for all our company operations, and our financial condition has drastically improved.
In Volume 1, we'll be discussing how to grasp the significance of the 5S program and activate it. At Iwaki Electronics, many improvement activities have been implemented in all parts of the company since the 5S program was introduced. Examples of clearing up and organizing include file labeling using a color classification system, the development of new tools, and a special system for tool storage. But achieving such improvements was not without its difficulties. Here are some of the opinions made by employees when the company began to promote 5S activities. Basically, we're too busy. We can't afford the time to bother with something like 5S. I don't think 5S has anything to do with our main work. Such secondary tasks should be handled by those with time on their hands. 5S is basically the know-how about cleaning, right? So why don't we leave cleaning jobs in the hands of the pros? I know the bosses will just make a fanfare and the seniors will just stand by and watch. If people make excuses like these and don't implement 5S activities properly, the program may never get going. It's not something to do in a half-hearted way. You need a full awareness of the power of 5S and an understanding of its essence. 5S activities should form a foundation for the whole work process, which becomes the base for job management as well as operation management. The 5S program is also a technique for helping to cut all kinds of waste. At Iwaki Electronics, a systematic development method was taken. The first step was to build up 5S awareness, then to create program plans, and finally to put the whole thing into practice. Building up full awareness of the 5S program is essential. All the employees should understand the meaning of 5S correctly and recognize the significance of the program. Let's go back to the basic definitions of the 5S steps again. Please try to memorize them. Clearing up means to sort items into those that are regularly needed, those that are sometimes needed, and those that aren't needed at all, and then moving or discarding items as appropriate. Clearing up is not just a matter of changing the order or arrangement of everything. Organizing means to fix where and how to keep items so that they can easily be found when required. It also ensures the practice of indication, so that anyone can see at a glance which items are currently in use and where. Organizing is not just a matter of arranging things neatly. Cleaning means to clean the workplace properly and at the same time to check every detail of the work environment. We call these three items the basic 3S. Standardizing means to maintain the work environment conditions established by the application of the 3S. In other words, standardizing means to continue applying the 3S program over time. Training and discipline means to cultivate good habits so that it becomes a rule to practice whatever is prescribed in the prescribed manner. In other words, it is a kind of mental support for further improvements based on the other 4S. The consolidation and activation of 5S ultimately depends on how well the training and discipline process is implemented. In the case of the 4S, the results are very visible, but the results of training and discipline are less readily perceived. The basic meaning of training and discipline is to develop the habit of carrying out prescribed activities in the prescribed way. The important point here is developing the habit. Let's consider this by thinking about the driver of a car. Any driver who has repeated the act of fastening their seatbelt many times before is sure to reach for the seatbelt and fasten it the moment he or she gets in the driver's seat without really thinking about it. This is a good example of the behavior of a person who has developed a good habit. In order to develop a habit like that, it is necessary to repeat the same act many times and learn from experience, just like a driver does. But it's also important to understand why that particular act is necessary and what its real significance is. And you must be convinced about the validity of these reasons for doing it. In the case of a driver, there is of course the very important purpose of securing his or her own safety. No action can become habitual unless you are convinced of the reasons for doing it. In conventional forms of discipline, bosses have tended to force their own sense of values onto their workers in a one-sided and sweeping fashion. For example, they would say, "If I say it's no good, it's no good." But such an attitude tends only to arouse feelings of repulsion or resistance from those at the receiving end. The new type of training and discipline, which is an essential part of 5S activities, is based on the condition that both the disciplinary side and those being trained can clarify each other's goals in advance and be convinced about them. In other words, it's important for everyone to develop habits through self-discipline. Those providing the discipline and training should highly evaluate 5S activities and take the initiative in putting them into practice so that good habits can be developed. Let's summarize part 1. 1. It's vital to build up a full awareness of the meaning of the 5S program. 2. All employees should understand the significance of 5S. 3. 5S must take root and be developed as a habit. 4. The basic principles of 5S are everyone's participation and setting an example to others. At Iwaki Electronics, the education of management, supervisors and leaders was carried out very thoroughly. And then an effort was made to gradually cultivate the 5S habits of all the employees through various training activities. As a result, the employees started coming up with proposals for improvements one after another. In this tool room, for example, an improvement was implemented regarding shared tools. Someone removing a tool must leave their name tag at the fixed storage position, making it easy to tell who is using each tool. Now no time is wasted searching for tools, and work efficiency has increased. Just a small idea like this can bring effects much larger than expected. To reconfirm the effects of 5S is also indispensable for building up 5S awareness. Now let's look at some of the effects of 5S from various viewpoints. 1. The reduction of quality-related waste. In this example, a card is placed on each part. It gives information on which line the part is for, how its shape differs from other parts, and so on. Thanks to these cards, parts can be selected faster, and there has also been a reduction in the waste resulting from use of the wrong parts. This, of course, also leads to a reduction of the time waste involved in responding to customer complaints. In other words, quality can be maintained by thoroughly conducting 5S and working smoothly according to prescribed standards. 2. The reduction of movement-related waste. At workplaces where clearing up and organizing are properly done, dramatic improvements can be made to the efficiency of the flow of movement of both people and things. For example, this factory manufactures multiple products on one line. A special shelf has been installed so that the parts can be changed quickly as the production plan changes. The ability to find the necessary documents, tools or other items quickly when you need them, and the ability to move around more easily thanks to the removal of obstructions in the passageways, has led to reductions in the time waste created by looking for missing articles and movement waste with products in progress. 3. Safety improvements. A more efficient flow of movement of both people and things can also lead to considerable safety improvements. For example, accidents caused by falling over or collisions can be greatly reduced simply by using coloured tape indications on passageways and ensuring there is no dirt or oil on them. Thorough implementation of an indication system stops people leaving things in the wrong place and accidents caused by dropping things. Another example is this safety cover. It was designed to protect the workers while at the same time ensuring the work can still be done efficiently. Proper training and discipline will also build up general employee awareness. As a result, for example, the workers will start taking more care about their work clothes, which in turn helps reduce accidents caused by clothes being caught in machines. 4. Securing on-time delivery. If the contents of a work instruction manual are cleared up and organized, then work procedure priorities can be determined, facilitating a quick response to delays or delivery changes. Of course, it also helps to make the process management easier by reducing shortages of materials or parts. 5. Cost reductions. In addition, company-wide cost reductions can also be expected from 5S implementation. Let's look at the case of Iwaki Electronics.
Here in the production department, when we place a new order for a machine or some equipment, we take an approach based on the 5S concept right from the design stage. For example, if the wiring of a machine hangs down to the floor, dirt and dust easily accumulate, and it becomes difficult to clean around such a place. So we decided to bundle all the wires together and put them inside a special cover like this. As a result, cleaning time has been shortened, and we've prevented accidents resulting from tripping over the wiring. We decided to install these covers at our discussions at the design stage before we placed the order. That meant the cost was lower than if we had installed them after placing the order.
The examples we've seen so far can all be described as the hard effects of 5S, which have an influence on things or places. There are also soft effects, which influence people's spirit and feelings, and are expressed in terms of improvements in morale and reliability. Generally speaking, workplaces with low morale tend to have the following problems. Greetings are not practiced. There is poor communication. There are high rates of tardiness and poor attendance. There are many complaints. Because the hard effects of 5S are visible, they become a relatively easy target for all the employees to aim at. If people can share a common goal, they tend to develop more of a sense of solidarity and listen better to each other's opinions. If 5S awareness is built up thoroughly among the employees, then morale at the workplace is sure to improve as well as a stronger sense of mutual trust. Mutual trust is not just an in-house concern. Whenever customers visit your office or factory, if you can give them a good impression so that they praise your cleanliness and efficiency, it will strengthen their trust in the company and may have a beneficial effect on sales. No matter how often you claim to focus on quality in manufacturing your products, you can easily lose your credit with the customer if products and goods in process are seen scattered all over the factory. There used to be a strong feeling that the shop floor at the factory had nothing to do with company sales. But it's only natural for customers and visitors to check out the details of your factory management and even the working manners of the operators. When you thoroughly build up 5S awareness with all your staff, the factory can become another place to benefit your sales activities. These are precisely the goals behind Iwaki Electronics' activation of 5S in all its factories and showrooms. Now let's summarize part 2. 1. 5S is effective in reducing waste relating to quality and flow of movement. 2. 5S is effective in improving safety and securing on-time delivery. 3. 5S also has soft effects, including improvement of morale and reliability. 4. A workplace can be activated by creating a common goal through the building up of awareness of 5S and reconfirmation of its effects. One of the characteristics of 5S is that the status of 5S practice at a workplace is a good indication of the level of management there. A low level of awareness at the worksite suggests a low level of management. How about taking a check right away of the level of 5S management at your own company and the level of awareness at the workplace? There's a simple check you can do yourself. For each of the following 5 checkpoints, there are 4 items. Check the item for each checkpoint which applies to your worksite. Score 4 points for each A, 3 for each B, 2 for each C, and 1 for each D. Then calculate the total score. Checkpoint 1. Regarding attendance at meetings. A. Everyone shows up on time. B. Most people are on time. C. Some people are sometimes late. D. Some people are always late. Checkpoint 2. Regarding storage of tools and other items. A. Every item has its own fixed storage position. B. 80% of items have their own fixed storage position. C. Some items have their own fixed storage position. D. No items have their own fixed storage position. Checkpoint 3. Regarding indication of fixed storage position. A. Indications are put on every fixed storage position. B. Some fixed storage positions have no indication. C. Only certain fixed storage positions are indicated. D. There are no indications. Checkpoint 4. Regarding dust and dirt at the worksite. A. The area is basically free of dust and dirt. B. Dirty areas can be found under work tables and in the corners of passageways. C. Dust and dirt can be seen as you walk around. D. Dust and dirt can be seen in many different areas. Checkpoint 5. Regarding desktop condition. A. Only items in use today are placed on the desk. B. There are items used yesterday on the desk. C. There are files for the whole week on the desk. D. Many items whose date of use is unclear are scattered on the desk. So, what did your worksite score? If you scored between 16 and 20 points, your implementation of 5S is at a very high level. You have reached the point of full development of awareness. Well done, and continue promoting 5S further at your workplace. If you scored between 11 and 15 points, you will be able to succeed in making 5S awareness take root with just one more step forward. Try to establish higher goals and make sure everyone continues to make an effort accordingly. If you scored between 6 and 10 points, your 5S situation is still far from satisfactory. Try to reconsider the current conditions with everyone together at your workplace. If you scored only 5 points, 5S has not been put into practice at all. Try to build up awareness from the start all over again. In the Quality Assurance Department of Iwaki Electronics, An interesting idea was adopted for using personal computers to improve the build-up of 5S awareness.
When we go to switch off our computers at the end of the day's work, the computer displays a checklist for clearing up and organizing within our group. We adopted a system whereby the computers cannot be switched off unless we complete the checklist. As we are requested by the computer to do a check every day, the practice of 5S has become an essential part of daily work in our department.
The first step in implementing a successful 5S program is for every employee to make an effort to practice 5S principles. For that to happen, it's important to ensure that there has been a full build-up of awareness. Only then can the process to develop good 5S habits begin. Now let's summarize part 3. 1. 5S indicates the level of morale and management at each worksite. 2. 5S requires every employee to make the effort to practice. 3. 5S can take root by ensuring the development of awareness. Worksites finding it difficult to implement 5S may have various other sorts of problems. As labour-saving trends progress, there may be a shortage of manpower, and the trend towards production of a wide variety of goods means that product life cycles are shrinking. And as machines and equipment are upgraded, the importance of 5S may diminish. The biggest problem, however, is the fact that basic activities such as 5S are not valued properly in organizations anymore. However, it's very wise to reconsider the meaning of 5S and try to create a solid framework for your own workplace. In Volume 2, we'll be looking at how to plan a program for activating 5S.